How's it going, guys? Great Disciple back with another video, and I have a subscriber question. Now this question was back on that video to plan or not to plan when it comes to kids, and it comes from Andy, aka Unknown Legend, and here it is. He says, so today's my 18th birthday. Well, happy birthday, Andy. I know it's belated, but happy birthday nonetheless. And it says, I guess I'm a young adult now. What advice do you have for me that can guide my life? And I replied back, happy birthday. And I said, well, there's 5 stages to becoming a man. Are you interested in hearing them? And he said, well, yes, I'm interested in hearing them. And he talked about his job a little bit, and I told him that I'd work on a video. Well, Andy, here you go. All right. Well, there was a book written pretty recently by an author named Dennis Rainey. You guys may have never heard of him. You can look it up if you want to. The book's called Stepping Up, and he talks about the 5 stages of a man. And I'm going to break some of it down a little bit. He said the first chapter in the life of a man is boyhood. From there you go to adolescence, which I don't know if a lot of you realize this, but adolescence has only been around for about 100 years. Nobody really considered adolescence or teenage years any stage of life until maybe about 100 years ago. I mean, you were a boy and then you became a man. There wasn't this entryway between, all right? Then after adolescence is manhood. From manhood you go into mentoring, and then after mentoring it's patriarch. What we're gonna do, because I think a lot of people who listen to me are around Andy's age, they're in the adolescent period or working on their way into manhood. We're gonna talk about that transition period from adolescence to manhood, what it is exactly. Number 1, let me just say this to you guys. Don't prolong it. You need to become a man. This isn't perpetual spring break, okay? We're not gonna live with mommy and daddy until we're 27 years old. I know some of y'all are probably laughing right now, and some of y'all are probably convicted by what I just said because you're 24 years old, living at home, playing video games, working a part-time job. It's time to grow up, all right? So let me give you 5 things. The 5 things that takes you from being an adolescent to a man. Here we go, write them down. Let's do this. Number 1, we are going to finish our education. At the very least, you're gonna finish high school, all right? Because a man completes what he sets out to do. I know some of y'all are bound for college, some of you aren't. That's okay, that's a choice, but we all finish our basic education, which is high school. Number 2, we're gonna move out. We are going to leave mommy and daddy, and we're gonna get our own place. All right, again, we do not live with mommy and daddy until we're 27 years old. You guys pack your stuff up and leave. I left my house when I was 18. You guys should be out before you're 20, okay? Number 3, we are going to become financially independent, which means you're gonna go get a job and you're gonna work and you're gonna pay your own bills. Because moving out of your parents' house yet still relying on mommy and daddy to pay your bills does not count. You need to be financially independent. You need to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. All right? Number 4, we're gonna get married. We're not gonna date for 5 years the same girl and lead her along. We're going to make a commitment. Marriage is very important, okay? It is a huge step to becoming a man. You stand your ground, you commit to a woman, and you stay, all right? And number 5, you're gonna have kids. And I know some of y'all can't have children, and I'm sorry. I have friends that can't, and they've tried. I mean, I know miscarriages and adoption's always an option, but if you can and you are able, you have children, okay? People who get married and don't have kids, in my eyes, it's selfish, all right? I mean, what's the point of being married if you're not going to have children and procreating, all right? So there you go. That breaks it down for you, Andy. You're going to finish your education. You're going to move out of mommy and daddy's home. You're going to get a job, and you're going to be financially independent. You are going to stand on your own 2 feet. Now, I know you're going to get hit every now and then, and you're probably going to have to ask your parents to bail you out a few times, but 90% of the time, you are going to stand on your own. Then you're going to get married. Okay, you're gonna make a choice and you're gonna get married, and there's no reason to wait until you're 30 years old. I hear this all the time, guys dating these girls for like 5 years, and I'm like, why aren't you asking her to marry you? Is this the girl you want to be with? Well, yeah, this is the girl I want to be with. Marry her. Well, I have debt, I need to pay it off, I want to finish school. Listen, there is always going to be something in your life that you're fighting, that you want to overcome, that you want to complete before you move on. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. If you have the girl that you know you were called to marry, marry her. All right? Do not lead her along for years, because all you're doing is you're destroying her opportunities for a future. If you don't know yet, and you've been with the girl longer than 2 years, she's not the one. Walk away. All right? So you get married, and then you have some babies. You know, my wife and I, we waited 5 years. We did it on purpose. We wanted to solidify our relationship, build a foundation and such. And I understand that. But we need to have kids, all right? Because you need to learn that life is not just about you. And there's no greater way than bringing some babies into the world and pouring out all your love on them. All right, Andy, I hope that helps you. There's a lot more to this. I'm more than happy to expand. So if you guys liked it, put a thumbs up on it. If you have a question about what I'm talking about, comment down below. Let's talk about being a man, a real man. And as always, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.